Hello, Anonymous Diaries family. Welcome back to another evening where hidden truths and untold emotions finally find a voice. My name is Evelyn, and as always, I'll be your host for tonight. Tonight, we explore the ghost of a past love and what happens when it collides with a happy present. Our narrator, Aisha, has everything she ever prayed for in a husband, but after a chance encounter with her ex, she's consumed with guilt and asking a question many of us secretly fear. Where do we draw the line between harmless nostalgia and emotional infidelity? As always, this story has been rewritten and narrated by an AI actor to protect the identity of the individual involved. Let's listen to Aisha's story.
My husband, Dayu, has a specific way of making tea. He warms the mug first, letting hot water sit in it for a minute before pouring it out. He says it keeps the tea hotter for longer. It's a small, thoughtful detail, one of 1,000 that make up the man I married. He is the calm in my perpetual storm, the solid ground beneath my feet. Our love isn't a wildfire, it's a hearth, a steady, comforting warmth that I can always come home to. He's kind, he's stable, he's supportive. He is everything I once desperately prayed to God for. And most days, that is more than enough. Most days. But some nights, when the house is quiet and Dayu is sleeping soundly beside me, my heart becomes a traitor. It doesn't live in our comfortable home in Lekki. It travels back in time, back to a cramped, one-room apartment in Surulere, to a life that was chaotic and uncertain, but fiercely alive. It travels back to him, to Femi. Femi and I were the classic university sweethearts. We met at Unilag, two broke kids with heads full of dreams and pockets full of lint. Our love story was written on the back of Damfo receipts and fueled by shared plates of jollof rice from the campus buka. We didn't have money for fancy dates. Our romance was walking across the third mainland bridge at dusk, him promising me the world while the city lights blinked on below us. It was him using the last of his transport fare to buy me a book he knew I wanted. We were young and our love was the fierce, all-consuming kind that believes it can conquer anything. But life in Lagos is a powerful current, and it has a way of pulling people apart. The pressure to make it was immense. He got a job at a bank that demanded all his hours, and I started a small fashion business that demanded all of mine. The long, lazy conversations were replaced by dry, one-word replies. The shared dreams became individual struggles. We never had a big fight or a dramatic breakup. We just drifted, like two ships that slowly, silently chart different courses, until one day you look up and the other is just a speck on the horizon. The end was a quiet, aching fizzle, heavy with unspoken regrets. Years passed. I healed. I built my business, I built myself, and then I met Dayu. He was different. He was calm where Femi was fiery, predictable where Femi was spontaneous. He courted me with intention and a quiet confidence that made me feel safe. When he proposed, I said yes with a heart that was full and certain. I chose a future of stability and peace, and I never looked back until 3 weeks ago. It was at a friend's wedding in Ikeja. The hall was thrumming with the electric energy of a proper Lagos Owambe. The music was loud, the colors were dazzling, and the air was thick with the scent of perfume on small chops. I was laughing at something Dayo said when I felt a pair of eyes on me. I turned and my breath caught in my throat. It was Femi.
He looked older, more filled out, wearing a crisp agbada that spoke of his success that had eluded him when we were together. But his eyes were exactly the same. They still held that spark of mischief that I once knew better than my own. He walked over. Dayo, ever the gentleman, shook his hand as I introduced them. After a few pleasantries, my husband went to get us drinks, leaving Femi and I alone in our own little bubble amidst the chaos. The conversation was stilted at first, a clumsy dance of catching up. He was a manager at his bank now. He was still single. We talked, we laughed. He mentioned an old inside joke about a terrible movie we once saw, and the sound of my own unrestrained laughter felt foreign and familiar all at once. For 10 minutes, the years melted away, and we were just us again. The connection, that effortless magnetic pull was still there, humming beneath the surface. I hadn't realized how much I had missed it. The drive home was quiet. Dayo held my hand, his thumb stroking my knuckles in that soothing way he does. But my mind was a million miles away. I was replaying every word, every smile, every fleeting look from Femi. I felt a profound and terrible guilt. That night, I did something I hadn't done in years. I typed his name into the Instagram search bar. His profile was public. There he was, pictured on holidays, at dinners with friends, in that nice suit I saw him in. He looked good. He looked successful. He looked lonely. Or maybe I was just projecting my own sudden confusing feelings onto him. I scrolled for an almost hour, my heart a cocktail of nostalgia, regret, and shame. It's been 3 weeks and the obsession is only getting worse. I check his social media every day. I find myself comparing him and Dayo. It's truly an unfair exercise. I'll be cooking dinner in the beautiful kitchen Dayo designed for us. And I wonder what my life would be like if I were cooking in a small apartment with Femi instead. I dream about what could have been, painting elaborate fantasies of a life where our love was strong enough to survive the current. I haven't done anything. I haven't messaged him. I haven't crossed the physical line, but emotionally, I feel like I'm living a double life. My body is here with my kind, stable, and supportive husband, but my heart keeps visiting the past. The guilt is eating me alive. I look at Dayo, this wonderful man who loves me completely, and I feel like a fraud. Am I ungrateful for the beautiful life I have? Am I a terrible wife for feeling this way? Or am I just human, haunted by the ghost of a great love? I am standing at a crossroads in my own heart, and I genuinely don't know which way to turn. What would you do if you were in my shoes?
Wow. Thank you, Aisha, for trusting us with such a vulnerable story. Your feelings are completely valid, and it's a delicate situation. Now, I turn it over to our community for their perspective. We have a few key questions for you in the comments. First, are Aisha's feelings just a simple case of the grass is always greener on the other side nostalgia, or do they point to a deeper issue in her marriage? Second, what practical advice would you give her? Should she cut all contact with her ex or confess to her husband? Finally, is it possible to be in a happy marriage and still mourn a past love? Please share your respectful thoughts below. Aisha needs our support. If you have a story you'd like to share, our email is in the description. Until next time, take care.